Unicef says its staff have been working with the Mozambican government following the devastation caused by Cyclone Freddy. 27 people were killed in the first round from the same cyclone, and about 170,000 others are believed to have been affected. Let's talk about the latest cyclone in the recent 24 hours and speak to Unicef's Mozambique spokesperson, Guy Taylor. Guy, a very good evening to you. Grateful for your time. So 27 people were killed when Freddy made the first landfall in Mozambique, now a second one. How much more devastating has that made the situation?
Well, the winds that we experienced last night with the second coming of Cyclone Freddy, I think were a lot stronger than the first time. I believe that there were winds of around 148 kilometres an hour, going up to over 200 kilometres an hour, so significantly stronger than the first time. The other thing that we're very concerned about is the ongoing rainfall. So large parts of this region were already quite badly flooded even before the cyclone hit. We've seen very heavy rain throughout the day today. Many parts of the city are flooded, as is the surrounding countryside. And that creates obviously risks of things like cholera and other waterborne diseases over the medium and longer term.
And we are struggling somewhat to make out what you're telling us, Guy, but we can hear you. So perhaps you and I can just speak slower and talk about the impact on the people. 170,000 people were said to have been affected. 28 from this morning, we're told, had died from both comings of Cyclone Freddy. Is that still the correct data?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's quite likely that the figure will go up. Obviously, many people in this area are affected by the wind. We've seen houses, hospitals, schools damaged and in some cases destroyed through the wind, fallen trees and the flooding. Many people's homes, particularly homes in the surrounding countryside, have been very badly damaged. So people experiencing a very difficult situation here at the moment.
And where are those people being housed?
Well, there are efforts underway to support the population here. Unicef has been working closely with our UN partners and with the government to prepare for this storm. We've pre-positioned large quantities of supplies, essential supplies, and working with government to ensure continuity of basic services. Government has been providing advice to people ahead of the storm on how to keep themselves safe, and there have also been a number of accommodation and evacuation centres which were open, which people could go to shelter from the storm.
And what would you say are the most immediate needs, both for those people who've now had to leave their homes or have lost their homes, and others who were already without the basics from the last cyclone?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the start of your question. Could you say it again?
What are the most immediate needs from people? We've spoken about housing. What else do they need?
Yeah, well, I think, Kelimani and the surrounding area do not at the moment have electricity, heating, and running water. They do not have cell phone coverage, which is making coordination with the response very complicated. So all of those things, really. I mean, people obviously need access to water for drinking, washing, cooking, but also for things like provision of health services and vulnerable childcare. I think those are the key priorities at the moment. As I said, Unicef is working with our partners and with government to ensure continuity of those services and to make sure the people who've been impacted the most get the support they need as soon as possible.
Guy Taylor, good to speak to you from Unicef Mozambique. Apologies for the poor quality of that line, but as you would appreciate, the situation in Mozambique at the moment, as Guy was saying there, if you could hear over the phone the issue of a Cyclone Freddy now making a second coming in the country in the last 24 to 36 hours, but electricity lines are down, so lines of communication have been affected. People have had to leave their homes. At least 28 people are known to have been killed, not just last night. One died yesterday, and the other 27 in the previous occurrence of the cyclone. But as and when we're able to get you the clearest information out of our neighbour Mozambique, we will bring it to you here on Newzroom Afrika.